Welcome everybody, my name is Michael Chalowitz and today we are going to be discussing, despite Bitcoin's correction down to currently it's $32,000, it fell down to $30,000 from $42,000 at its peak not very long ago. A lot of people believe that it's simply a correction, that it will return back to $42,000. Of course, no one can predict the future. No one will know whether it will go back up or whether it'll continue to go down. But just the sheer achievement of getting above $40,000 from $20,000 not too long ago made me think. And I realized now is probably a good time to show you the true potential of Bitcoin. There's already been houses and apartments that have been purchased solely through cryptocurrency in the past, but usually that was a lot of Bitcoins being spent. However, in this video, we're going to be discussing about what one BTC, an entire Bitcoin, could purchase you in the future. It might be the very near future because we are going to be looking at house prices and apartment prices specifically in Poland, where usually it's 3 to 4 times cheaper than in the United States. So, using the previous price of $42,000, you know what, there's always going to be somebody, well, you can't sell at the all-time high, so let's just choose $40,000 to make you happy. Using the previous price of $40,000, and we're not that far away from it, it's $32,054 right now, so less than $8,000 away. Knowing how volatile everything is right now, it could always come back within a few days. And people are saying, oh, it's completely normal because of the 21-week moving average. Well, you're going to have to look at the financial experts, but even they're wrong sometimes. So anyways, let's make this a fun video, and this might be also an eye-opener to some Americans out there, or if you're living in the UK, especially if you're living in a high cost of living area or a very high cost of living area. New York, I'm looking at you. Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco. Hey, welcome to Warsaw. So without further ado, let's first look into the details. $40,000 would get you 148,774 PLN, Polish zloty. And with the dollar, as you saw, just within the past month alone, it's been pretty crazy. The lowest point was 362 and the highest point was 375. But actually, when I moved first to Poland, as you can see, there was 2 periods where it was above 4.20. Here it was like 4.25 we saw, but I remember the peak was 4.29. So kind of fun how it's been rising the past few days though. But anyways, 148,000. So we have to find something for around this price or under that. Here's how Bitcoin has been doing over the past few months. Absolutely crazy rise. And we're going to go to 2 websites. Otodom, which is one of the largest. It's kind of like the Polish Zillow, and OLX, which is kind of like the Polish Craigslist, where we can find anything from cars to computers to even houses and apartments. The reason we have 2 is because this has real estate broker fees. And I know that this video is for fun, but we are trying to make this to also prove a point that yes, in the future and in the very near future, it is completely realistic to purchase a house with an entire Bitcoin or an apartment. Obviously, apartments are going to be cheaper. So first of all, we have apartments, mieszkania, for sale, and then we're going to, I don't know why it shows their location, so we're going to choose the entirety of Poland, and we have 140,000 results, but first we have to make sure that it goes from, let's just do 1,000 because there's probably some scams at a 0, and 148,774. So perfect. 1,000 to 148,700. And we have 2,878 results. That's absolutely crazy. So let's just make sure that there's no rentals. So just 100,000. 2,030. Yeah, that's crazy. 2,030 results. Now, obviously, some of these are going to be really crappy. So maybe first, let's just do 135,000, 148,000, still 797 results. So we get some better ones. Obviously, this is still pretty cheap for Poland. You're not going to get it straight in Warsaw, in the dead center of the capital, because that's the most expensive part of Poland. But as we can see, and first of all, for Americans, you're probably going to be like, what the heck is that? And then when you do the conversions from square feet to meters squared, you're going to be like, whoa, that's so tiny. But realize for Poland, for Germany, for Finland, for UK, for Italy, for France, for every country in Europe, we have smaller apartments. We have smaller houses here. So that is kind of shocking for Americans when they come over here. They're like, whoa, it's so tiny, but that's just normal. These are perfectly normal. I actually am currently living in an apartment that's smaller than this. I think it's 29. There's people who live in apartments that are like 15, 16, which is way too small. But anyways, two rooms, one room over here, and it tells us how much PLN per square meter it is. So let's go actually with the highest, 144,000. This doesn't look so bad. So you're probably like, what the? Okay, so my phone's battery ran out, but we're back and I wanted to streamline the process. So bam, 36.7 meters, two room on the third floor, 145,000, just a teensy bit. So this is out in Bytom. Yeah, that's kind of a smaller place, but that's what we expect. As we see, this is a normal apartment. It's not like, you can live just fine. This is perfectly okay. We have everything. Obviously, it's not the most luxurious, but it honestly doesn't look that bad. So for people, whoa, look at that kitchen. That kitchen's pretty, whoa. Yeah, so for 1 Bitcoin, you could literally buy your own place and chill here and not care about anything else. You could focus on working online. You could focus on buying a second piece of real estate property. You could become a real estate agent if you had multiple Bitcoins. Or you could go deep into a cryptocurrency career, whatever you'd want to do. You could become a cryptocurrency YouTuber because you wouldn't care. You'd have a place forever. Of course, you'd have to pay taxes and all that, but that is nothing. That's just a few percent of this. So honestly, absolutely crazy. But let's find out some other deals. Here is a much smaller apartment, and the reason for this is it is in a larger town. It's in Łódź, which is one of the largest towns in all of Poland, and you can see that the price is a lot higher. And stan zamieszkania, where is it? Do zamieszkania. So that means it's perfectly finished. Everything's fine. You have to pay 116 PLN per month, and then utilities. It's like, whatever. Honestly, who cares? That's small. So you got a bathroom, you got everything. And let me show you the population so you get a rough idea. Łódź, there we go. It's 293.2 kilometers squared, a population of 700,000 people. Bytom, to give you an example, unfortunately, there's a company named Bytom, which I think is located in Bytom, but Bytom, to give you an example, where is it? Yeah, 165,200 people, 165,200. Next one here is in Lubuskie Zagańskie, 148,000. This one has 4 rooms. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit older. It's from 1945, and I'm sure everything's pełna własność, which means it's fully 100% yours. And you'd probably have to repaint the walls and kick out this furniture, but wait, hold on. I think this is weird. I think this is a house. I think this is a house that's just put under apartment. But hey, you got your own garden, which we're going to have some houses pretty soon. Here's a mieszkanie again, an apartment, 33 square meters, 148,000. I'm just showing you that there's hundreds of these that you could get for 1 Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely insane. You have to realize, sure, you're going to have to put in some money into this. You're going to have to renovate it, whatever. But just the idea of purchasing something already at this point in time is pretty crazy with 1 BTC. Here we have another one, 148,000. So I guess, I just chose the first couple that I could find. I didn't really go looking for it. So maybe they're not the prettiest in the world, but I just wanted to show proof. And let's go to the other website. This is actually a house. So houses are going to be in much worse shape. But the fact that you can buy your own property with a backyard is just mind-blowing. Here's a better house. So this house actually looks okay. Obviously, it's going to depend on, hey, you're out in the middle of the countryside. But for some people like me, I'd actually enjoy this. Look at this. You got beautiful green fields. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. 110,000. You could buy that right now, actually. Oh, my goodness. You could buy that right now. So 110,000 is 29,000. You could buy that even if it drops down to 29 and a half. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, you wanted proof that, hey, what if it doesn't go up to 40,000? What if it goes down? Can you buy something? Sure, you'd have to finish some things up, But I mean, come on, what do you expect? Where in the world, where in America are you going to find something for $29,000 that, you know, sure, you're going to have to put in a few thousand here and there. Some rooms are done, some aren't, but still, I mean, come on, dude. Rozpoczęty remont. Okay, so they have started, but they didn't finish it. Maybe they ran out of money to redecorate the rooms, refurbish the rooms. Here is another one not too far away from Wrocław. I live in the town of, the city of Wrocław. 109,000. Sure, you'd have to, you know, repaint everything, redo, but come on. I mean, what do you expect? The previous ones were apartments. So maybe you're going to say, this is crap. Who cares about this stuff? Like, honestly, who's going to buy this? Because I want the more luxurious life. So I doubled it. Well, this is actually less than double. So either Bitcoin goes up to $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 this year, where people are predicting, hey, it's going to go to 100,000. There's reports of 150,000 from banks. Or this is less than 2 BTC. Well, what kind of apartments can you get? All right. Looks like the quality has definitely improved. And I know that there's a lot of people that would be perfectly fine getting these types of apartments right here. So I'm first of all, I'm just going through the first couple of picks I get. 290,000. Yeah, I think everyone would be perfectly fine living in this kind of stuff. Pełna własność, that's yours. Zielona Góra, pełna własność, that's yours. Everything is fine. All right. I don't know. I guess they turned this into a business office or whatever. You know, it is an apartment. It is an apartment. You see this sometimes in Poland. People just don't want to get an office space, a commercial space, so they just transform their own apartment into an office space. But whatever, you can just take out the furniture. It honestly doesn't matter. Here is something. There we go. 290,000. This looks better. This looks better. Yeah, all right. So here's another one, 290,000, It was in 2000. Like, whatever, dude. 290,000 is 77,900. I used to sell my Bitcoin for 10, 15, 20, even 25% above the price that it was listed at. So despite Bitcoin falling below 40,000 and having a severe correction right now, there are still people paying more than $40,000 this day at this very moment for their Bitcoin. Whether it's because they want to stay anonymous or they just want it so bad, it's that fear of missing out, that FOMO kicks in. They don't care. They'll pay at any price because in their mind, 40,000, 50,000, whatever they pay, if Bitcoin's going 100,000, they still doubled their money. It's still an investment. Obviously, that's very risky thinking, but hey, people do it all the time, especially in the cryptocurrency world. But half of those customers just want anonymity. They don't want to deal with verifications coming from exchanges or Bitcoin ATMs. They don't care. They just want to buy your full BTC. They'll pay 10, 20% over. So it's something to think about. If you move to a cheaper country like Ukraine, obviously the standards will drop, but you're able to purchase even more at that point. Poland is pretty safe for the average American. There's nothing I fear. There's no attacks over here. The reason Poland's behind many other nations in Europe, you got to remember, is because of communism. So really, Poland has only started building over the past 20, 30 years, and it is advancing every single year. I just see that with Warsaw and Wrocław. The amount of new buildings, the amount of construction going on, the amount of skyscrapers being built in Warsaw, one of the tallest EU skyscrapers, is actually close to completion right now. I think in the next 10 years, it's definitely going to be an interesting place. I'm sure around the world, there's even cheaper countries where you're able to find probably better, more luxurious apartments. But I hope to revisit this in the future and make another video where, you know, Bitcoin's at $100,000 and show you what you can buy with $100,000 in Poland. It's kind of the difference between, for example, Chicago and Austin, Texas, or Los Angeles or Houston, Texas, or even Las Vegas, Nevada. You just see these crazy mansions in Las Vegas or in Houston, while in Chicago, you're stuck paying high property taxes. Same with Los Angeles, same with New York, and you get a really small property. So you have to decide, is it worth it living in a high cost of living area? And especially if you have a remote job, which there's more remote work than ever before thanks to the pandemic. So that's today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you're new to the channel, I make daily content every single day. Hit that notification bell if you would like to be notified for daily videos, and we shall see you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you thought about this video down in the comment section below. I guess if you don't like apartments or houses, you're always able to just get a Maserati with 1 BTC. You're all good there. In the future, I hope that we're going to be able to make a video about buying a Lambo with 1 Bitcoin.